All right, green worksheet 9.1, looking at number 3, and we're going to take this opportunity to look at A versus B. And we're going to try to talk about the difference between what U18 is asking for versus what S10 is asking for. So A and B, the difference between the two problems. In both of these, we have what are called arithmetic sequences. UN is 2/3 n plus 3/4. So I know that this is arithmetic because it's linear. It has a slope and a y-intercept. In the next one, they gave us un as 3n minus 6. So in the blue one, you would start with the first term of -6. Actually, if you plugged in 1, what would u1 equal? It wouldn't equal -6. What would it equal? The first term would be -3, because you'd do 3 times 1 minus 6, you'd get -3. In the red one, what would the first term be if we plugged in 1? 2/3 plus 3/4. Uh-oh, I didn't know I was getting into adding fractions. I didn't sign up for that. Can someone help me? 2/3 plus 3/4. Can we do them both in twelfths? 17/12. You think? Well, 2/3 would be what? 8/12, yeah? And 3/4 would be 9/12. 17/12 is correct. So in both of those, in the red one and the blue one, I found the first term. What letter did I use right here? U. See that little guy right there? That's a U. When they ask you for the U1 or U2 or U18, they want to know, if you listed out all the terms in the sequence, what would the 18th one be? Okay? If they ask you for something like S10, that's different. That wants to know what the sum of the first 10 terms are. So this is, what is the 18th term? And B is asking, what is the sum of the first 10 terms? So before we go on, so let's keep in mind here that when they ask for U, they want the term that you're on. When they ask for S, they want the sum. When you hear them talk about D, what does that mean? Fill in the blank. The common difference. So what kind of sequence would it be? Good, it would be an arithmetic sequence. What's its sort of cousin? Not the common difference, but the common ratio. That's what R would be. And in that case, it would be what kind of sequence? Geometric. All right, I'm trying to think of any other symbols that are out there that you're going to have to know. The U is the term that you're on. Oh, N. N is the term number that you're on. Okay, the term number in the list. So if they ask for U18, U18 is the 18th term in the list. All right? N would be 18 because you're on the 18th term. So we've got to make sure that all these symbols are straight as if we plan to move on successfully with this unit. Okay? So let's go back and let's talk about how we would calculate these two things. All right, for the 18th term in red for 3a, it's quite simple. You do 2/3 times 18 plus 3/4. So the 18th term is 12.75. All right? Plug it in. It's an explicit formula. It takes you directly to that answer. When they ask you for the sum, like in B, and you know that it's arithmetic, I'm going to clear a lot of clutter off the screen right now and kind of start over with 3B. If they want the sum of those 10 terms, you're going to use this formula that we talked about yesterday and the day before, or you can use sigma notation if you'd rather do that. It's up to you. You can decide what you think is easier. If you want to use sigma notation, it might be easier now that the calculator has the built-in tool, all right? You're saying, I want to know what the sum is in this formula when I go from term number 1 to term number 10. Plug it in, see what happens, all right? If you want to go old school and use our formula over here, how many terms are there if we're going to S? 10. Say 10. 10, okay? What is the first term when you plug in 1? We talked about it already. It's -3. Plus, what is the last term, which is U10? What would I get if I plugged in 10? 24. And then you do the it's all over 2. Either of these methods should give you the correct answer, all right? And that correct answer is 105. Okay? I'm not going to show the work on that, but plug this into the calculator or plug that into the calculator. It should work. This works all the time. This would only apply if the sequence that we're talking about is an arithmetic sequence. If it's geometric, we're going to have a different formula that we'll get into starting in section 9.2. Okay?